code, but while I do this, I want to share this with you. This is a very exciting one. Thank you as well, Sean Donnelly and American Beijinger, for coming back. Part of what I do is try help people and show them kind of a way. But this whole thing called Blinks is a game changer. Whether you are running a charity or you are swapping valuable items, but you want to do it peer-to-peer, or you've traditionally worked within eBay marketplaces, or you have your own business and you have a pain in the ass setting up your merchant account, this is very special and it's a massive game changer. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that I think are super interesting, but I got to wait for the story to load. But either way, I think it is super exciting. So this is a thing called Blinks. It just came out on Solana. I feel naked running. There's only a couple of slides. But basically, the premise of it is you can create a link anywhere. You can dump it on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else. And you've got the ability to receive micropayments or any payments without the need for any type of merchant, etc. So hopefully this is working now. Let me know if it is. Hope everybody's well. Thank you all for coming. So let me walk you through the story. It's called Blinks, why I believe it is a massive, massive game changer. Again, I kind of describe what it's all about, but I'm going to walk through a couple of use cases of how you or a loved one could use this for a business. Or if you are a developer, how maybe you could spin up your own consulting firm to help others set up their Blinks, because there is some development required. Thank you, Linda, for coming. So let's go. First of all, Marty Party shared this earlier today. Why is Solana Blinks changing the whole internet today? Currently, when you want to sell or trade something on social media, you need to send the user to another website. With Blinks, you don't need marketplaces or any other website anymore. You just post your product or offer, and the user interacts and transacts with the post. They never leave your timeline. This is dangerous and very disruptive to OnlyFans, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, etc. It makes everything redundant. And I think what's most interesting about this for me, and why I'm very excited, and I like to share it, is it could unleash a world of creativity and independence from these traditional marketplaces that take big chunks of fees. And you can do it in a completely decentralized way. So again, get stuff done with a simple link. I think it's very exciting. Simple URL. Let me walk you through how it's all done. Silicon Valley Stoic, thank you for coming, as well as Mr. Sue. So why is Blinks revolutionary? So I'm going to walk through a couple of quick charts here. There's a bunch of what I believe to be revolutionary aspects. First of all, you enable transactions through URLs. Solana Actions on Blinks significantly lower the barrier to entry for both developers and users. And it makes blockchain interactions very intuitive and very accessible, very interoperable. It works at everything, works at the speed of light. You get your money immediately, and your transactions are processed very efficiently at very, very low cost. What's very important about that too is imagine you are, say, in a poor country where people don't have a lot of money. This enables you to take very low donations or sell things at a very low price without being eaten alive by processing fees, like 3.5% from a merchant account with a minimum 30-cent transaction fee per transaction on top of that. Deluxe Bear, thank you for coming. So I'm going to walk you through a whole bunch of stuff. And again, this is rough and ready because it is brand new. But anybody who's worked in the past, this is the old world that's facing disruption. This is basically how a merchant account works. Card holders, merchants, acquirers, card networks, issuing banks, bills, fees all over the place. Blinks takes all this away, okay? Just deletes it completely. It's a massive, massive potential for disruption. And before people have been struggling to get it turned on, I'm going to show you actual screenshots of one of my wallets. I created a thing called Blinks 2. And on the settings, when you set up your wallet to be able to interact with anything that has a Blinks capability, you're not going to see a lot now, but it could come up in the very near future. I expect a lot of adoption. You go to settings by hitting the cog on your wallet. Then the second step, when you're in settings, you scroll down to the bottom, you go to experimental features, and then you'll see a thing called Solana Actions on x.com or wherever else, and you toggle it and you turn it on. And that empowers this thing to tie into your wallet automatically from things like Twitter, etc. Now remember, it's still very new. Not all integrations are out there yet, but it does work on Twitter. I have tested it. Now, why is it important? First of all, very user-friendly. It's intuitive. Even people who are not crypto native can just click on a link, done. Very simple connection process, literally 2 clicks, done. And embedded transaction links are there to enable seamless donations, purchases, staking, purchases of NFTs, whatever. And I'll talk about a swap concept as well. Imagine you're selling something valuable like a Rolex watch. I'll walk you through that. So first case study of how this could work for people is Sarah's journey with Blinks. Sarah saw a donate with Sol button on a charity's post in her feed. Intrigued, she clicked the button, led to a user-friendly interface prompting her to connect her Solana wallet, and within 2 clicks, boom, made a connection directly. Sometimes it's literally 2 clicks. And this seamless experience powered by Blinks with shareable links. Actually, Blinks is blockchain links, by the way. That's what it means. And again, that will help onboard so many users to do so much more with crypto as we go forward. I am very excited about this, in case you can't tell. Now, another applications that you could use it for, you can buy NFTs. You know, artists could sell songs for 10 cents a pop or something. Now it's possible with a simple link, or donate to somebody for their content or their Substack or their charity or whatever else. Community members could use Blinks to vote on transactions, so at a very small fee to eliminate spam voters. You can participate in DeFi activities. I'll show you one example of that in a minute. And e-commerce sites can integrate this to accept Sol payments. And by the way, Sol Pay is behind this too, so you'll be able to use stablecoins, I think, down the line as well, like USDC, etc. Thank you, Moda, for coming. Now, another example of how this works, you can actually go today with the Solana Blinks feature. You can click on a MadLad, and provided you have 60 Sol to pay for it, you can buy it there and then without doing anything else. Click on it, buy it. All of these are Blinks right now within Magic Eden. It's crazy. Super exciting. And again, so early. But there's more. Let's talk about the staking. This is actually from Mert, friend of the channel. You don't have to leave Twitter. You can just click on this button. I want to stake 1 Sol with Helios. Boom, done. Click the button and confirm in your wallet. And by the way, people are probably concerned, well, is it risky? Is it less secure? No, you still have to confirm on your wallet. Even though you might be clicking a button here, there is a subsequent step to actually confirm the transaction. But again, it is 2 clicks. So make sure if you are going to buy something, you think about it first. If it's a big purchase, always spend a week at least thinking about before you make it. But by the way, on this example here, this is staking Solana. What you could also do is rip out the image there and just have, contribute to my business, my charity, buy this product, buy this t-shirt, buy this mug, whatever the case may be for merch. Super simple. Now, why it is also so important is it'll bring about a lot of mainstream adoption. You can now pay with Sol. E-commerce is easily integrated with a simple link that's easy to set up. You can use it for gated content, for creators to offer exclusive access unlocked by token gated links. You can do QR code payments as well using Blinks technology. I mean, the sky is the limit. But there's more. Now, for the developers out there, a lot of people want to get into blockchain development. It really simplifies the addition of functionalities to websites, apps, without needing extensive blockchain coding experience or front-end coding experience as well. And developers can embed these shareable links, and using the whole SDK that's simply behind the scenes, I'll show it to you in a second. And Blinks can enable the use of existing infrastructure, allowing developers to leverage current systems while expanding functionality to include these blockchain features. So you might have a business that takes a credit card, or you could just drop a URL, say pay with Solana, boom, done. And of course, merchants want to use Solana. I'll explain that why in a minute. Now, Blinks is also helping break down the barrier between Web 2 and Web 3 because of simplified transactions and Web 2 familiarity. Clicking a link, paying instantly, and enhanced user experience will drive a lot of adoption. Again, it makes everything so simple. And it brings a lot of people from the Web 2 world over to the Web 3 world seamlessly. And in fact, the future is changing so fast. Who knows if people will even be using credit cards in 5 or 8 years. It's crazy. Now I'm going to walk you through another scenario. This is a Rolex swap. I've done things like these in the past, peer-to-peer, but it's fraught with risk. Let me explain how Blinks can remove a lot of that risk. So imagine you've got a Rolex for sale. You've got two people, Joe and Sam. Joe wants to sell his Rolex for $25,000. Sam wants to buy the Rolex. They met peer-to-peer, maybe on a social website like Facebook or Twitter, and they have to access a swap site. Again, they go to the Blinks swap site, and they can remain anonymous by using unique wallet addresses. It takes a second to spin up a new wallet address in Phantom or Backpack. Then they both deposit funds, for example. Joe and Sam each deposit the equivalent into a swap contract on the Solana blockchain. And the contract locks until both parties confirm receipt of the goods as advertised. That is the watch. Make sure it's a legitimate Rolex with the original receipt and the box and all that stuff. And then this creates a swap link creation. And then the swap is initiated. Joe and Sam click on the links. They confirm the merchandise. When that's done, the Solana action is converted back. Swap is confirmed. Blinks is shared with the other party, Joe or Sam, whoever it is at this stage, I can't even remember. And once they confirmed the goods verification, both Joe and Sam confirmed the receipt of the goods as advertised, and then the contract is unlocked and Joe receives his $25,000 worth of Sol. And that's it. So again, this takes away the whole middleman from these marketplaces in a very big way. Like Marty Party said at the very beginning, anybody now, they don't have to be part of eBay or whatever marketplace to do whatever they want. They can now do it themselves directly. And that is incredibly powerful. Also, it's a huge win for vendors and creators. If you're selling stuff, fees, I've never seen 1.5% fees, by the way. They're always about 3 to 3.5% by transaction, plus a fixed fee as well. So that goes away, and that could be substantial. Also, credit card fees are taken away for expensive credit card transactions. The transactions are instantaneous. Within 400 milliseconds, you get the money immediately. And also, payments are very accessible. And because of the very low transaction fees on Solana, you can do micropayments. You pay somebody 25 cents or 10 cents for a product or a sandwich, or maybe they can scan a QR code at a vendor stall on the street with a mobile phone and boom, connect to their Phantom wallet, and the rest is history. But for the developers out there too, it's super easy to build this up. If you just Google Blinks or Solana Actions SDK, you'll be able to pull all this down. And literally, if you are not a blockchain developer, but you have an hour to invest of your time, you can learn to do this in a heartbeat. And then spin up a practice on Fiverr to be able to set up Blinks links for vendors or people that want to sell their wares online, whatever they may be, or to swap a Rolex or a yacht or a timeshare of property or whatever else. I mean, the sky is the limit. So this is, I think, super exciting. Again, the first thing we've been looking for, payments, I've always said, is going to be a huge use case. But now the enablement through a simple link in a place where people are without ever having to leave is a complete game changer, in my opinion. So quick summary, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe it transforms crypto interactions into very simple everyday experiences. It simplifies crypto adoption in a big way, shareable blockchain links. Users can engage with crypto directly on their favorite platform wherever they are. Click a link, scan a QR code, boom. And anybody can use this. The question is who? I know firms for a fact, like Amazon, have been trying to get away from these 3.5% merchant fees for the longest time. That's why they give out Amazon credit cards, because they save on fees. I wonder if the day will come when a big player will adopt this technology as well. That would be very interesting. And then on top of that, we've got the real world assets and the tokenization of everything. The world has changed very fast, and it's incredible what this chain is actually doing. So hope you enjoy the show. And again, think if you are in any way entrepreneurial, or you have a family member or a friend that is trying to get something off the ground, investigate this for them. It'll save them an awful lot. And especially with the hurdles you have to go through for setting up merchant accounts, etc. It's a pain in the butt, and it's very costly. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you all turning up. Sorry for being late. Been a big day, and a lot of new stuff is dropping all the time. And it's Wednesday. It's only Wednesday. It feels like Friday already. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.